Do you have a brain that gets overwhelmed by big tasks? If you do, I've got another tip. So this actually is a difference between me and my husband, I think. So when he has a big task to do, like for example, we have a basement room with loads of holes in the ceiling, and for him, the way that he would approach a task is to see it as one big task, set aside an entire day or two and get it all done. And because that is generally not possible, especially if you've got small kids who need you, then the task doesn't get done. And I've realised that in the last couple of years, becoming more and more overwhelmed as a parent with children's needs, as well as, for us moving countries, buying a new house that needs work doing to it, trying to set up business in a new country whilst maintaining a business in England, for him starting a new job here. It's been a lot. And I realised that the way that I get things done is to break it up into tiny little tasks. And it's really interesting because as parents, we're advised to do this for our neurodiverse children. So you get a list, a checklist, and mine are all pretty and laminated so that they can literally tick them off and I can just wipe them clean again. And instead of get ready for school, I break it down into little tasks. So do your hair, brush your teeth, get your socks on. That's a separate task to getting dressed because socks often go on later in our house. Put your water in your bag. Check if you need a PE kit. Things like this. It's like discrete, individual tasks. Brush your teeth. For washing hair, it's even more in small steps because that's quite a challenging task in our household for our small people. But it's the same for adults, and we don't think about ourselves and how best to support ourselves. And so with this basement of ours that needs a lot of work doing to it, and this would have really annoyed me previously, last winter I went down the corridor and I painted the right-hand side, and you can see a line down the centre of the ceiling. I started with the wall, I moved on to half of the ceiling, and I realised that the left-hand side, it's the right-hand side I painted, the left-hand side needs a lot of prep work, which is not my strength. I hate doing prep. It has holes that need filling, nails that need pulling out, so I've left that half for this winter to deal with. And with the laundry room in the basement, which is very common here to have a separate laundry room, I know it's not in England, there are probably about 6 or 7 holes in the ceiling where dirt just falls down, so they need to be filled in for those purposes. And instead of seeing it as a fill the holes in the ceiling task, I've seen them as individual discrete holes, and therefore individual discrete tasks. So we filled in one hole with a piece of wooden board, over the weekend. And my next task was to paint it. But then I realised I can't paint it because there's still a few little holes around it. So now I have a filling task. And that filler will remain out with my little spackle tool. And I will plan to do maybe 10 minutes of filling in holes every day until it's done. And because I find it really boring to do one task over and over again repeatedly, I won't be doing all the filling in one go. I will do all the filling in one corner of the room. Then I will paint that corner of the room and move the furniture into that corner of the room. And I know this isn't the most efficient way of doing it. The most efficient way is to do all the prep work first, fill all the holes, do all the painting, lay the floor down, put all the furniture in place. But I find that deeply boring. And my brother was watching me mow the lawn the other day, it was about a month or two ago. And he just goes in straight lines from one end to the other. And he was watching me carve out little rectangles and triangles and mowing that little patch before creating another little patch that I was going to mow. And he commented on my unusual style of mowing the lawn, and I realised it's the same. To see a massive patch of grass as one big task that needs doing is just deeply dull for my brain to contemplate. And so I break it up into little patches of grass, and that's how I get it done. And I take regular breaks and, stop for water, stop for snacks, because otherwise I'll forget to eat, so I have my little snacks on the side. And so as we advise our children to break things down into small tasks, and we're advised to help our children in this way, we need to remember that we might need the same support ourselves. So to break our tasks down into lots of little tasks. And if that means that you have a pile of filler and a spackle thing, I don't really know what it's called, the flat thing that you use to fill holes in, if that means that you have them in a little pile in the corner of a room for 6 months whilst you slowly get through that job, that's okay, because that job is being done. And it doesn't matter if it's not the most efficient way of doing it. What matters is that it suits you and your brain type and your style of getting things done. And I think we need to let go of this idea that there is one efficient way or effective way of doing things, because to me, maximum efficiency is what works for you best, not what society tells you you have to do. I hope this gives you all permission to do things your own way, so that you get more stuff done. Have a great day.